The United States is witnessing a surge in deportations. This affects people from many countries. Jamaicans are among those facing removal. Recent figures are alarming. Over 90,000 Caribbean nationals are in line for deportation. This includes over 5,000 Jamaicans. The situation is tense. Many are living in fear of arrest. Families are being torn apart. The deportation system is complex. Many factors are at play. Criminal records are a major consideration. But even minor offenses can lead to deportation. This is especially true for non-citizens. The current administration has taken a hard line on immigration. This has resulted in stricter enforcement. The human cost of these policies is significant. Deportation can have devastating consequences. It separates families and disrupts communities. Many deportees face an uncertain future in their home countries. They may struggle to find work and rebuild their lives. The situation is a humanitarian crisis. It demands attention and action. The current approach is not sustainable. It is not effective in addressing the root causes of irregular migration. It is time for a more humane and just immigration system, one that respects the rights and dignity of all people. The recent deportation numbers tell a stark story. Jamaicans are increasingly being swept up in the system. Let's look at some recent cases. Camaro Denver Hay was arrested in New York City. He faces charges of child sex crimes. This is a serious offense. Deportation is likely if convicted. In another case, an unnamed Jamaican national was arrested in Florida. He was found in possession of oxycodone and faces other charges. These cases highlight the complexity of the issue. Some deportees have committed serious crimes, others have committed minor offenses. These individual stories are just the tip of the iceberg. They represent countless others facing similar situations. The emotional toll on families is immense. The fear and uncertainty can be unbearable. It's crucial to remember that everyone is entitled to due process. This includes those facing deportation. They have the right to legal representation and a fair hearing. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is the agency responsible for deportations. ICE employs various tactics to apprehend and deport individuals. One such tactic is the use of raids. These are targeted operations in workplaces and communities. They often result in mass arrests. Another controversial tactic is expedited removal. This process allows for deportation without a court hearing. It's typically used for individuals caught near the border. However, its use has expanded in recent years. This raises serious concerns about due process rights. The use of these tactics has drawn criticism from human rights groups. They argue that these methods are inhumane and unjust. They point to cases of mistaken identity and wrongful arrests. The expedited removal process is particularly concerning. It denies individuals the opportunity to present their case. This lack of due process can have devastating consequences. ICE maintains that its tactics are necessary to enforce immigration law. They argue that they prioritize individuals who pose a threat to public safety. However, critics argue that the current approach is overly aggressive. They call for more humane and just enforcement methods. To understand the current situation, we need to look at the bigger picture. The U.S. has a long history of immigration. It's a nation built by immigrants. Today, the foreign-born population in the U.S. is at a record high. Over 47 million people living in the U.S. were born in another country. The majority of immigrants are in the country legally. However, a significant portion is undocumented. This has been a contentious issue for decades. There's no easy solution. But one thing is clear. The current system is broken. The U.S. needs comprehensive immigration reform. This includes addressing the root causes of migration. It also means creating a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. The current approach is unsustainable. It's time for a new conversation, one that's grounded in compassion, justice, and the recognition that we are all humans deserving of dignity and respect.